Good morning,
Good afternoon.
good night, and welcome to Jazzy Conversations. I'm Teef,
And I'm Gigi.
and we're excited to be here.
Listen, thanks for checking in.
Welcome to Jazzy Conversations. I'm Teef.
And I'm Gigi.
Gee, let's have some fun. We're here again.
Here we are, man. Nice
Listen,
to see you.
Nice to see you, partner. How was today?
Today was good. Today was real good. You know where I was at. It's
I
a
know
Sunday,
she was at
Sunday
church.
afternoon, so I was at church.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. And it's been a beautiful week and it's a beautiful day.
Did you pray for me?
I always pray for you.
That's my partner.
I always pray for you,
I
T.
appreciate that.
You and all of yours.
Thank you. And so today we have an amazing, I'm very excited about her.
Oh my goodness.
I've spoken to her on the phone several times. And
I
I'm like,
can't wait.
she's so busy.
Is she?
Oh, she's so
It makes
busy.
sense.
She's yes,
Yeah.
a successful American jazz musician, flies all over the world.
Oh, if
And
y'all don't
she-
know her, this
She literally
voice-
just got back today. She was like, Teef, I just flew in from Texas, but I promise you I'll be on.
Oh, that's
So I
awesome.
said, oh my goodness.
This
yeah.
voice, I can't wait to hear her speaking voice,
Oh,
T.
man.
I love meeting singers for the first time. I hear their talking voice to see if it's anything like what comes through the waves when they're singing, you know?
She's amazing. She's
Ah,
very
that's awesome.
humble, down
Can't
to
wait.
earth. So
Miss Mesa
we're ready for
Leaks.
Miss Mesa Leaks, but she just go by Mesa. So I'm gonna say just Miss Mesa.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
All right. So before we bring on Miss Mesa today, guys, I'm trying to think of something. G, I was, we're gonna do this one organically on the
All
run.
right.
But I want to ask you a few questions.
Okay. I'm on the spot.
I want to ask you guys a few questions too. So answer them as we go along.
Mhm.
Email us, write in the comments, subscribe, hit the like.
Yes, all of that.
Very
good stuff.
important.
All that good stuff.
Okay, here's my questions for you and G and you. All right.
Okay.
Tell me which one. You got to pick. Gina or Pam?
I like Pam.
Tommy or Cole?
Cole.
Janet or Chrissy?
Janet.
The Ropers or Mr. Furley?
Oh, Mr. Furley.
Mr. Furley.
I wonder if there are people sitting back like, what are they talking about? Old school.
Lamont's best friend on Sanford and Son, Rollo,
Yes.
or Jack's best friend on Three's Company, Larry?
No, it's Rollo. all
Rollo. I
day.
knew he was going to
Come
say
on,
that. I knew he was
Rollo.
going to say that. Adidas or Pumas?
Adidas.
Here we go. Let's get
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah.
Will Smith, Wesley Snipes.
Oh. I'm going with Will.
Okay. Let's do this one. Let's go with Angela Bassett,
Oh, that's my girl.
Viola Davis.
I got to roll with Angela.
Okay.
Angela's
okay.
I love Viola.
Okay.
Angela's my girl.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with.
Especially in honor of the late great Miss Tina Turner.
That's right. Oh my God. That's the one. That's the
That's
one that
the
took
Yeah.
skyrocket over the top.
Over the top.
Let me give you a few more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's go with Ice Cube, Chuck D.
I'm a PE head. I PE crazy PE.
Okay.
Chuck D.
I'm gonna put her on the spot. You guys don't get upset because we got a lot of West Coast fans.
I know.
Tupac, Biggie.
Oh, I'm not gonna upset the West Coast. I love Pac.
Okay.
I
There you
love.
go. Okay.
Listen, Biggie, and
That's
I'm
right.
born in Brooklyn,
Hey,
so
listen.
I love Brooklyn. But listen, I
You
got
love
to give it to Pac.
Okay. There you go. Okay. Let's do this one. Dave Chappelle,
hmm
Martin Lawrence. I know.
That's I know you just want us. Listen, it's complicated. Because personality wise, I feel like I like Martin
Okay.
from what I've heard about him.
Okay.
But Dave Chappelle is the GOAT. Like who's besides
I love
Chappelle
Dave. I love
in
Martin.
this
I love
field?
them all. Now,
Yeah.
your favorite
hmm
entertainer that you would love to just sit down, living,
Okay.
and have a conversation
Okay.
with. Entertainer. No, It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be serious. People
Okay.
that's watching this, please don't say, "Oh, that was the wrong answer. This is who you should
This is
say."
who I wanna
No,
sit down
who she
with.
would like to sit down with and have a conversation with. What
Okay.
entertainer would that be? If you had one entertainer.
Oh, one entertainer that I would sit down with, I think, whew,
Or I'll even go back. You know what? I'll go back to childhood till now. Like who was that entertainer that you
yeah,
say I followed their career since I was in like fifth grade on the way up?
yeah, yeah.
Whether it's singing, acting, sports,
So,
comedy,
so I'll tell you who I would really like to just sit down with,
and
like
chop it up.
in their house and chop it up, kick
Yeah.
it, sit on the couch with
And
my,
just
with like,
laugh
like
or talk. Yeah.
I want to sit down with Patti LaBelle.
Patty LaBelle.
I love Auntie Patty. In my mind, that's my auntie.
I love it.
Her or I know you only gave me one, but if I got to pick
That's
two,
just G.
the other one is oh my gosh, Gladys Knight. I
Gladys
always in my
Knight
mind that's
and
my
Glass.
auntie.
And the Pips.
So
They
listen, the pimps they could go wash the
could
car or
go
do their
on.
chores. I want to sit down with Gladys Knight. Gladys Knight and Patti LaBelle.
Well, you know who I
Those are
want
my
to
two.
sit down with right
You
now?
want Miss
Miss Mesa.
Mesa? Let's
Listen,
go.
ladies and gentlemen, we have a very exciting show for you. I hope you're ready. You ready? Here we go.
Let's go.
Welcome to Jazzy Conversations. I'm Teef.
And I'm
And G into the world. Ladies and gentlemen, look who we have on the screen. The beautiful,
The beautiful,
talented
yes,
jazz
Yeah.
artist, musician, Miss Mesa.
Mesa.
Mesa, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, we're so excited to have
So
you. Are you excited to be here?
I am. I am. And Will down and told me about you guys, so I'm very excited.
Oh, thank you so much. And
You
Will's
are radiant. You are a beauty. You are. I'm
Oh,
so
thank
happy
you.
to have you with us.
Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate that. We're closing, so I'm trying to put the screen together. Okay, there
That's
we go.
okay.
There
That's
we
okay.
go. There we
I was
go.
just telling G, I said, listen, your work schedule is through the roof. And you
Oh
know
my
I know.
gosh, man.
Every time we
think
try to
about-
hook up, you were busy overseas. You just got back.
That's a good
Yeah.
thing, and that's a good thing, right?
It is. I went for Monday, got off the boat and flew home. And then the next day I had to sing for a memorial service in Detroit. So then I came back from that and had to do a show this weekend. And just yesterday we did a show at San Antonio.
Wow.
Really nice concert there. So yeah, we did two shows last night. After the second show, I thought they were going to carry me out of there. It was crazy.
That's
But
it.
I just try to, I'm trying to do my best to, keep it going because, I remember the days when it wasn't happening like this and how I would pray for it. So I prayed for it, so now it's here.
Wow,
the
I'm
increase
loving
is
it.
here. That's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
Lovely.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So, Mason, what we want to do is what you just said is you said, I've been flying all around. I've been very extremely busy. Now, we have people watching the show. A lot of people know who you are, but for the people that don't know your story, we want to go through that process. So we're going to start at the beginning and we're going to come up until where you are now. Is that fine?
That's fine.
All right. So let's go back to the beginning. Tell us your background, where you're from, siblings, anything like that, the
Yeah.
schools you went to. Let's start at the beginning.
Okay, well, I grew up in a beautiful family. My parents, just wonderful, loving people. I have two brothers that are younger. I'm the oldest. We grew up in a beautiful suburb of Baltimore. Baltimore County. It's called Pikesville, Maryland. It's very nice. I grew up listening to music. My parents played music all the time. It was just all the time. They had blue light in the basement parties probably once or twice a month.
What kind of music,
I remember-
Mesa? Just all kinds of music?
Oh, just all soul, funk, R&B. That's all.
Oh.
And a little bit of my dad liked country, little country stuff so here and there. So I got to taste all that too.
Me too.
And then my parents, my mom, we got a little older. Instead of waking us up like by yelling in the morning, she would play like the Gap Band. Get up
yeah.
early in the morning. She would blast.
Oh, that's
Little
awesome.
Charlie,
That's a
Little
good
Charlie,
idea.
Little
Uncle
Charlie,
Charlie.
Little Charlie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
hear
great.
the sound, it's just like it was amazing. So there's a lot of love here, a lot of family that visited a lot. So it was all extended family all the time around me. And so I've continued that in my life with my son. I did the same thing. So going back to the beginning, that's how I started. A lot of people ask me, did I start in gospel? I didn't start in gospel. My parents were very spiritual people. We didn't go to church. My mother we went like sparingly here and there. but mostly we didn't go to church. My father taught us about love and about how to love people, and taught us to love God and just do the best we can by people our whole lives.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
I think it's good because people get caught in the same narrative that this is always,
Yeah.
if you're talented and you're black, you started out
Yeah.
in the church. Everybody
Yeah.
didn't start out in
Right,
the
right.
church,
That's true,
right?
G. That's true.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they
So,
do.
so Mace, you went on to high school. Did you do any sports in high school, or did you just go into drama, singing? What?
I did sports in middle school.
Okay.
I had a lot of awards for like the shot put and the discus and all that kind
Okay.
of stuff. I was
Yeah.
really good at that kind of stuff.
So you're
Uh,
strong.
yeah, yeah. But other than that, I did a lot of. I was in musical theater. I was
Okay.
in the choirs and stuff at high school and all that kind of stuff. So that's where I was really cutting my teeth about being a singer. I was in a lot of talent shows, and that's when I knew something was special about my voice because they were saying it like directly, like your voice sounds different. Like I love it, like it's soothing, and all that. They were saying that to
Yes.
me when I was a kid. So I was like, okay,
Nail
but
on the
it started
head.
out when
It
I
is
was 6
soothing.
though. When I was 6 years old, my mother took me to see Melba Moore in Pearlie. And when
Melba
she came out on
Moore.
stage, my mind was blown. And all the lights and the music and the costumes and the dancing and the singing and the musicians and the dialogue, everything I was like, I want to make people feel the way they're making me feel right now. And I knew that at 6 years old. So
Wow.
that's when I really
Isn't that
started
something?
honing the direction of where I wanted to go
Okay.
in my life.
Now, were you singing at 6 years old? Did you know that you had a
Mhm.
gift for that? Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I was singing this. I was singing it too, actually. My mother said I would, whoever would come to the door, I would run to the front door when the bell rang. And when they opened the door, I was singing dance for them.
And
Yeah.
then you'll go like this.
Play me. Oh,
I
that's
Yeah.
got you. I
beautiful.
got you. So Mesa, you graduate high school. What happens after that? What's the next step?
Well, I planned, me and my best friend at the time, we had planned on getting an apartment and getting jobs and just living our lives. And my parents were like, oh, absolutely not. You'll be going to Morgan. And I was
Ooh,
like, huh?
Morgan State.
Yeah, I'm
All
like,
right.
I want to go to college. Yeah, that kind of thing. Thank God my parents, they knew. And my uncle had graduated from Morgan. So my whole family was like, no, you're going to Morgan. I was like, okay. So
Yeah.
I got on the Morgan State University choir. I trained classically. My degree is in classical performance.
Ooh, okay.
I love Morgan. It was an amazing experience being taught by Dr. Nathan Carter and Betty Ridgway, my vocal teacher. So we had a great time there. Toured the world. Went to Africa for a month. And it's so funny. We were in Africa in 1990. We were musical ambassadors. The United States sent us over there to be musical ambassadors. And the first place we went to was Mauritius, and that is this town of Bluey the Bluey from Incognito was where he was born. So it's like it really came full circle how God connects everything together.
Absolutely, absolutely. Wow. So you're a bear. You're a Morgan State
Morgan
bear,
State
HBCU.
Uh-huh.
Now, did you pledge any sororities or anything?
I didn't. I know it was scary at the time, to be honest with you. It was like with the horror stories that we were hearing. I was like,
About being
nah,
on the pledge line and all that stuff.
pledge line.
Yeah,
I
I
was
had
like,
those same fears.
it's like a psychological game, and I didn't realize it was psychological because they were saying you got to jump off the bridge, you got to do this. I'm like, what?
Jump
I
off
ain't
the
got time for
bridge.
that. I'm like, I'm good. So I kind of ignored it and kept going. But years later, Sigma Gamma Rho made me an honorary.
Oh, look at you. All right, all
Okay,
right,
all
Mesa.
right.
G, any questions?
Beautiful. Well, no. So when you said you were on the choir at the college, was that a choir that used to tour around while
Oh
you were
yeah,
in college?
yeah.
Oh,
Oh
tell
yeah.
us
So I
about that a
learned.
little bit.
I learned about Dr. Carter. Dr. Nathan Carter was the department chair and the head of the choir. Of course, he ran the choir, and so he went everywhere. We went to churches, venues. The choir was so amazing at that time. And I'm not just saying it because we were, it was my crew that was on it, but it was so special about that crew of choir members that was there at the time. And we sung at the White House. We did all these different things.
Oh my
So
goodness.
Morgan's reputation was growing bigger and bigger and bigger at that time.
Now, what year was that? The
That was
White House.
19. I started in 1984, and then I graduated in 91.
Oh, okay. So right before Clinton You was at the White House.
Yeah, we went to, he was there. He just got there.
You just got, okay, got you.
Yeah. We went to, no, it was Reagan. It was Reagan. We went there.
Okay, got you.
Beautiful,
Okay.
beautiful.
So now you graduate and you're trying to get into the entertainment business. How does that look like?
Well, it's all started the year before I graduated. My best friend Kim Brewer had gone on to be in a girls group, and the manager of the girls group stole all the money, so they were out there kind of struggling in California. And she happened to get an audition with Stevie Wonder, so she was singing with him for a little bit of time before they came to sing with the choir for Martin Luther King's birthday every year.
Okay.
And this particular year that she was with him, they came back and she asked Stevie could audition. It was where he finished Morgan and she wanted me to audition. So he said yes, and we did this extravagant audition. He had like 20 keyboards sitting around. He played all these different things. I had to sing with him and sing against it. It was hard, and I didn't think I made it, but I did. And I asked him, could I please finish my degree? I had 1 year left, and I wanted to finish my degree and hand it to my parents because they had sacrificed so much. My mom had even sold her engagement ring for me to go 1 or 2 semesters. So I was like, I can't possibly not give them this degree. So, and I said, I'll come out there then. And that put me in the right place at the right time because he was working on the Jungle Fever soundtrack with Spike Lee. So my first professional gig was singing background on These Three Words.
Oh my goodness!
We was in high school when that came out.
That's beautiful.
We were in high. That was our senior year.
I think so.
What year was that, Mace? 92?
1992.
Yeah,
That's
senior year. Let me ask
92.
Yeah.
No, 91.
Yeah, that
It was still our senior year.
Still our senior year. So Mesa, you said
right. So 91, because I went up there in February 91, recorded around February 91, and then we toured with Spike Lee on all the television shows. We did a big promotional thing. We did Oprah, and Johnny Carson was his last year on Johnny Carson. And then we did, all of David Letterman and all those shows. And I was one of the singers that was able to go and do that whole promo tour, which was amazing and fun. Wow. And then so I was there, and then what happened was the next thing that happened was Stevie went on a Brazilian tour, and he took all the older singers that he had. I was really new. I just gotten there, and I didn't really know the show or anything. So he took all the old people, and I had to find a job. They were gone, and so I went and got a job. I got several jobs, and one of the other singers in Stevie's camp said, Mesa, there's a producer that wants to do a jazzy kind of vibe with the song. I think you're more suited to it, so I'm just give you his number. And so I called the guy. I did a song with him. It was a jazzy kind of song. And one day he called me. He said, Mesa, my best friend in London just had a big hit with Jocelyn Brown called Always There. And I want to know if you are interested because he wants another American singer to front his band. And he told me his name was Bluey, and they the band is called Incognito. And so I didn't know what Incognito. So I walked to the next day. I walked to the music store and I bought the Always There because I didn't know what the Incognito was. I didn't know what kind of music it was.
You cheated. You cheated.
Yeah, she did
research.
So I listened to it, and then a few days later, I went home sick from work, and Bluey called me. He said, "I'm trying to call you. I want to bring you over to London for your audition." And he said, there was 25 names on the list, and the reason why I got called first is because he asked the guy who put my name forward. His name's Steve Harvey. He's a drummer from Scotland, and he said, I asked Steve, which one of these women would you leave your children to? And he said Mesa would be the one, and that's why he called me first. So we had a conversation about music, and he asked me to sing "Don't You Worry About a Thing," and I sang it. And the next morning, Bluey said, "Thanks, Mesa. My manager's going to call you next week, and we're going to bring you to London for your audition." But the next morning, his manager called me and said, he woke me up like really early, like 4 a.m. He said, Mesa, I don't know what you sang to Bluey yesterday, but you got the gig. We're not looking for anybody else. Ooh. And flew me to London 2 weeks later. And that's when I started recording Tribes, Vibes, and Scribes. And we went on a huge world tour after that.
Oh my goodness!
So you were at
tour.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's just saying that like you get whisked away, and all of a sudden you have a great audition.
And you were you were about 22, right out of college. 22, 23.
24. I was 24 when I went to Incognito. Yeah.
Wow.
So Mesa,
so I stayed in college a lot longer.
Okay.
I stayed in college. I was there 7 years because I had quit music 1 year, went to business, failed that whole semester, the whole year, every class, even gym. I failed everything.
She
I don't
said,
know
even
what made me
gym.
go over that. I was just frustrated with musically, and I was like, I just want to. I give up. I just want to go. Let me do business instead. I don't know what made me do that. That was a disaster. So, and then being on the choir, things we were always gone, so it took me longer to be in classes. I couldn't take certain classes. It was a longer process. So I was about 20. So 23 about 23 when I graduated from Morgan.
It's all good. It's all good.
Did you know, or when did you know that jazz was the kind of music that you wanted to sing? Because you said you had to look up Bluey and look up that kind of music. How did you fall into that niche?
I think I love jazz. When I started when I was 12, my uncle, I was singing a lot of pop music. My uncle was like, Maysa, let me listen to this. He said, well, turn on PBS. I turned on PBS and Al Jarreau was singing.
Oh,
Al
Al
Jarreau.
And
Yeah.
that's that turned me to that. So at 12 years old, I started listening to a lot of jazz music, a lot of Sarah Vaughan, who was my hero. And so Sarah Vaughan, Ella Fitzgerald, Colin McRae, and I used to, I used to listen to everybody, listen to some instrumentalists also. And I just got into the scat, and I wanted to be a scat artist. I wanted to do that, and so I knew that's what was going to be part of it. But I also loved R&B. Like, of course, my parents played R&B, soul, and funk. So to join a band who is known for jazz, funk, and soul was just right up the way. When I first heard the music, I was mind blown. I'm like, this is exactly where I want to be. Right. And it kind of combines everything together. Like, a lot of people try to pigeonhole me. Oh, she's just a smooth jazz singer. She just that, and I'm not. I really. I try to combine it all, so it's kind of, I don't know what you call it, but it's just fluid in that way, so that people can't really pigeonhole me in any genre.
You are an eclectic voice.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, you are. Yeah. Because that's what it says about you. It says jazz, R&B, smooth, soul. So yeah. A little bit of all of them.
I love that she said, even when you were 12, that everybody said it was just soothing. Because when I listen to you, I'm like, I just feel like I'm you. I feel like people are walking by. I don't care if I'm at home in my bathrobe. I just feel fine. When I'm listening to your music, I just feel like it's soothing, it's smooth, awesome, a beautiful voice.
And I feel like whatever. Her video, your video, the video she just came out, whatever. I love that video.
That's good. That's really good.
That's a good video. Good video. So okay.
The next one is called Beautiful. It's a single, Beautiful. We started doing some of that work while I was on a Dave Cos cruise the last 3 weeks. So I decided that I got free ports to go to. I don't have to pay to come over here to film these things. So we decided to take advantage of it, and I just put on some clothes and went out and film some things. So we'll see how we're going to do the second part here in Baltimore. But
nice.
We started out there.
I love it, and I want you to say that again at the end of the video because we're going to put it on the screen. And I want a lot of people to tune into that and give you the thumbs up.
Okay.
So we're going to give you an open dialogue for that. Now you were incognito for how long? How many years?
I'm still kind of with them. I haven't really left. I left for 1 year to start my solo career in 1995, 1994, 95. But I returned immediately the next year. Incognito released 100 Degrees and Rising. I released my album Mesa, and then we kind of just rejoined right after that for the Beneath the Surface album, and I've continued from there. I've recorded with them every year, almost every year since I joined them. So wow. I'm still there. I don't tour Europe with them a lot at all, but I do when they come to the United States. I do as many shows as I can.
Okay.
So do you do a lot of your own writing, or do you have writers that you work with? Yeah. Oh,
I mean, I choose songs for my new album. I chose a lot of the songs. People sent me songs, and I chose them. But I do a lot of my writing from my experiences, or whether sometimes like there's a song I wrote called Simpatico. I got that from just I was reading a magazine article, and I saw the word, and I was like, what does simpatico mean? And so I looked it up, and when I read the definition, I was like, oh wow. And then the song just like boom came to my brain, like it's literally just it poured out of me. So I was able to get that started. So yeah, it's just I'm inspired when I'm driving. I could be anywhere just driving, and the song will come to me. I have to pull over and put the melody and the stuff in the phone, because music is a spirit, and if you don't catch it, it definitely go to somebody else.
Wow, that's
she
good.
said I will pull over.
Yeah,
I like that. Right. Me too.
That's old school. That's old school. I like that. So 95. How does this transition happen when you go solo? How did that happen?
Well, we were at the North Sea Jazz Festival, Incognito was, and in this big room called the JVC room, about 14 to 18,000 people. I can't remember the exact number, but it was so many people. It was unbelievable. And we were daughter had a great show, and I was walking down this ramp to go to the dressing room, and this man was walking up towards me, and he said, "Hi, Mesa. My name is Carl Griffin from GRP Records in New York City, and I want to know if you're ready for your solo career."
Wow.
And I was like, okay.
That's a movie scene. That's a movie scene.
I know, that's what I'm saying. My life has been that way. It's just been a lot of just these magical moments that God has sent me to propel me to the next thing. And so I thought I didn't think it was serious. And then he gave me his card, and then I gave him my number, and he called me and said, "Can you come to New York?" And I went to New York and had a meeting, got the deal that day for my first album. Wow. And it was just an amazing run. That first album was critically acclaimed. I sold a lot of those records, and still to this day, people love the songs from that album.
Absolutely.
Now tell us, how was that feeling? Okay, how long did it take to record that album, and how was that?
Ooh, it took a long time. It took, I would say 6 months. But I know one of the highlights of it was that we recorded strings for the song Out of the Blue and for Can We Change the World, and I think one more other song. We recorded the strings at Abbey Road in London, where, of course, the Beatles recorded. Oh, yeah. And so that was surreal. Of course, I'm paying for that still today. Right there, I still owe money on that album. I would probably never see those royalties. But as a matter of fact, I might, because I think I get it back. I become the owner of the master in, I think, I have like 4 more years, I think.
Okay.
That's what you're aiming for. Right?
There you go. Yeah. Absolutely. That's a nice little retirement type thing.
You
know?
I'm gonna have to repackage it because I have my label now, so I'm gonna repackage it and put it back out again, I think.
Now you do from what I understand, you do 3 more albums, and then in 2000, I think it was 4 or 8, you have that big album come out. The one you got nominated for. It was.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that one.
So that's Blue Velvet Soul.
Yes.
That's
your voice, album, by the way. Blue Velvet Soul. That's your voice.
That's so funny. My best friend Kim, she said one day I was trying to figure out the name of the album, and we were talking about it. And she said, "Maysa, you should call the album Blue Velvet because that's what your voice sounds like." And I was like, "Oh, wow, okay."
That's right.
So I was like, "Cool." So that's how we got it. And so that's why my record label was called that, because of that. I got the Grammy nomination from that record. So I decided to call my label Blue Velvet Soul Records.
You said that so laid back, but say that again. You got what? Grammy nominated?
Yeah,
that's huge. Don't downplay that.
It's so funny. I waited so long for that. I wanted to, so every year I put out music. I work hard on the music, try to deliver the highest quality music I can. And I was like, why am I being overlooked? What is going on? And so my mom, I used to cry every nomination day, and I didn't see my name. I was just like, get so upset. And my mom she would say, "Let me get some gold and make you one of them damn things." She was so frustrated with me.
She said, "You already got 25 Grammys in my book, right?" That's
right. Mama said. And after she passed away, that's when I got it. So I know she had something to do with it. I know she did.
Now tell for us fans, including us and everyone's watching, how does that look? How does that feel? How did that phone call
nomination.
come? Was that from your manager?
So on December 6th, it was for 2013. I was giving my son his birthday party. Okay. So I had a bunch of kids here, and I was cleaning up the kitchen, and the executive director for the DC chapter, I saw it, she called, and I was like, oh. So I was just talking to her. I knew it was Grammy nomination day, but I think I got it out of my mind because I was always disappointed. So I didn't think about it that day. I was giving my son a party, so I was a bit distracted. And she said, "Hi, Mesa, this is," I forgot the girl's name anyway. She said, "I just wanted to let you know that you got nominated for a Grammy." And I was like, "What?"
All the kids around, party happening.
So I started screaming, and all the kids ran into the kitchen like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And I was like, "I just got a Grammy nomination. I can't believe it at all." Oh, man. And I just called everybody. I was so excited.
What you said?
You did the Grammys, and it cost me a fortune. I had to get a publicist and a designer, a clothing designer, or a stylist, and makeup artist, and hair person, and a limousine, and had to get to. I mean, it was a lot. It cost me about $7,000.
Wow!
Just to go to the nomination. Yeah, go to it. And so It was worth it though. It was the
Yeah, you're
experience.
still
Walking
beaming.
the
Look
red
at
carpet.
you.
Yeah, look at that. I love it. I love it. See, I'm
It was
glad
a
you're
great
giving those
experience,
details. I'm glad you're giving those details. So you showed up to the, where was it? Where was it located? Where was it at during that year? What was the
was that,
location?
what was it? Oh my gosh. It's usually where, I won't say the wrong.
Okay,
Oh man,
that's
where
fine.
was it?
It's okay. It's
It was
okay.
definitely in LA, somewhere in LA.
It's
Oh,
okay.
okay.
It's
Uh,
okay. Okay.
near it's a stadium, but I'm trying to figure which one it was called. I can't remember now, but yeah, it was there. It was in the red carpet.
It was there,
I
and
was
you
supposed- I
showed
was-
up beautiful.
There you go.
I had I mean, they hooked me up. My stylist, she really hooked me up, and her mom's a publicist. Only thing that I disappointed with is that I never got my basket.
You're what? I'm sorry.
The Grammy. So when you get nominated for a Grammy, you get a big basket full of gifts.
Oh.
Yeah.
From spa to stuff to trips to very expensive, little
Right.
things that you get. The sponsored box. And they told me that I was told that every single nominee gets one, and I didn't get mine. And I kind of got disappointed. But other than that, it was just all a great experience.
Oh,
Right.
wow. Yeah, I'm
Aw.
sorry to hear that. You should have been
Listen, committee.
That's
Listen,
right.
we're sending out an announcement. Listen,
Okay.
committee. It's
Yeah.
not too late.
It's
Get
not too
Mesa her
late.
basket.
So after this, now you're feeling great. Going into the studio for your next album, was you had that energy. You were ready to go now.
Did, yeah.
Okay,
And
so
I gained a serious momentum at that point where I just felt really strong in all of it. And I don't know. I just wanted to keep putting out, making the great music. And I just wanted to make music that helps people. And that's my whole goal in life. The songs have to be something that either makes you feel better or helps you through a hard time. And that's the goal of everything. So I just kept continuing to make the highest quality music I can make. And that's where I am still.
oh, Mesa.
You are doing it.
Listen,
You
this has
are
been an
doing it.
amazing interview.
Absolutely.
Now, Mesa, here's a question for you. When are you coming to Connecticut?
Yes.
That's a question for you.
I'll be there in October or November. I don't have my calendar.
What?
with me, but my longtime producer, Chris Big Dog Davis, is putting together the show, and I will be there. I'm not sure what else is on the bill, but I know I'm singing with that. I at the Lyman Center, I think. Yeah.
Oh,
we'll
at
be
the-
there. Oh,
yes,
yeah.
we
Well,
most
I'll be on the
certainly
phone
will.
with you after we get off of here. We'll be there.
We
Okay,
want
don't
the
worry about it.
details.
We will be there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mesa, have you never done the Jazz Fest in Newport? I would imagine like you would. I don't know why these people don't have you
Newport?
there. Newport, Rhode Island, where they do a huge jazz
No.
festival.
In Hartford.
I don't think I've done that yet.
They need to. I listen once again. I could see my.
Actually, I'm going to be in Connecticut, and I'm doing the Greater Hartford Jazz Festival.
There you. That's what I just said. Hartford. That one is huge,
we'll
and you're
be
going to be
there.
there in July. July, correct?
Yep, but
Yeah,
in July we actually have
Oh.
a headliner, I think, that
Listen.
night.
Mace, we will see you. We go every year.
will.
We will
Y'all
be
gonna
there.
have
This
a
year. And I said that to
Absolutely.
you before.
Have my
Wow.
glass of wine, kick up, and I'm just gonna listen to you and feel beautiful.
Mesa, this has been an amazing interview. But before
Thank
we
you, honey.
end,
Thank you so much.
of course, my partner has 3 important questions to ask you, and then we're going to go into the dialogue. So.
Yes, so we
Okay.
want to know the top 3 podcasts that you listen to or subscribe to. Oh,
Well, I have not yet done that.
That's okay.
I got to fix that. I haven't done that yet. I never have time to listen to anything. It's so
I know.
weird. I run so hard. It's just like I never sit down. I barely look at. I don't watch TV anymore. I don't have time to even look at television
I heard
or anything.
that.
And I try to listen like on the plane and stuff. And so I try to put stuff in and listen to music on the plane. I'm to sleep automatically. So
Listen,
I miss out a lot.
We got her here on
That's
this
right.
podcast.
That's
by the
right.
skin of our
There
teeth.
you go.
Yes,
There you
We're just
go.
happy to have you.
There you go. So this is number 1. Thank you, Mesa. Thank you. We appreciate you. Now, Mace, this is open dialogue. I want you to tell the world, everyone that's watching right now, what do you got going on? Any albums? Are you in any movies? Are you writing any books? What's going on?
Well, okay. First thing is my brand new album called Music for Your Soul. It's a 19-song double album that I created as my 14th solo album. I want to do something special, not just because it's number 14, but because it's on my own record label, Blue Velvet Soul Records. I wanted to do it big.
Yeah.
I designed a magazine that goes with it. I have a lyric book that I made all by myself on my little computer. And the magazine is going to be quarterly, so the next one will come out near my birthday in August.
Okay. What's the name of the
I'm working
magazine?
on This is Mesa magazine.
Okay. Okay.
It's Mesa magazine. Yep. And the latest version is on my website Mesa.com. You can scroll down and see the latest version of it.
Mesa.com.
The first edition, I should say. I'm working on a book about my son being born prematurely. It's called Out of the Blue.
Okay.
And my son was born while I was on tour with Incognito. And we were in Osaka, Japan. I was 25 weeks pregnant, and my water broke while we were singing on stage.
Ooh.
And so that experience of having him in Japan, having to leave him in Japan and come back home and wait for him to gain weight so he could fly on the airplane. All that experience, it was mind blowing. And so I really want to talk about it and share that with people and try to give some of the proceeds to the March of Dimes, of course.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Oh,
Mesa.
yeah, we gotta read her book,
absolutely.
buy her album, go see where she's on tour. Absolutely.
And for us that's located in the state of Connecticut, we will be seeing you this July. So everyone watching around the state, please go out and check her out in July at the Hartford Jazz Fest.
Yes.
On behalf of Jazzy Conversations with Teef and Gigi, Mesa, I'm Teef.
I'm Gigi.
Mesa, have a great night.
Thank you
Good night.
so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Take care. Have a great night.
Good night. Thank you.
You know what? It took everything I had, Teef, not to just ask her to just sing us a line.
She's dope. She's dope. She's amazing. I'm going to be very excited to see her this summer. And we were talking about that. Remember I said you're going to go to Jazz Fest with us this year. So, I'm going to be, excuse me. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to be there.
Give her a call, right?
So, listen, G, another amazing interview.
Yes.
I know she's extremely busy.
Yeah. I'm so glad she had the time for us.
Yeah, because she was literally out of the country. And she said, I promise as soon as I get back, we're going to hook up. And then I spoke to her yesterday. I can't remember how that comes. And then this morning, she said, listen, that's how she talks. Sweetie, I'm just getting off the plane, but I'll be ready. I said, sounds good. Sounds good.
What I hope is that people who not exposed to her music yet, just like she got exposed to Ella and Sarah Vaughan, I hope some new folks tune in. They say, who's this Mesa Leaks? Check her out and fall in love with her music.
She's bad.
She is bad. Yes.
Gee, another show.
Next
week. We'll bring on another amazing guest.
That's
Please
right.
continue to tune in. Hit subscribe. Give us the thumbs up. Continue to email. Continue to write in the comments as we continue to grow. We appreciate you guys, right?
We sure do.
On behalf of Jazzy Conversations, I'm Teef.
And I'm Gigi.
Have a great night.